Welcome to the garden. These are my morning glories and sunflowers. I'm going to be planting these out in a part of the garden that really doesn't have anything growing. It's kind of behind one of these hedges and in between a few containers. But I'm planting morning glories and birdseed to get these sunflowers. These are all just planted from birdseed. We do have one of these right over here. It's already 1.5 feet tall. Looks beautiful. So hopefully we'll get a big mammoth Russian sunflower right here. Wouldn't that be lovely? And then behind that, I want to train these morning glories to grow along this lattice. I've actually germinated these indoors, kind of kept them warm on a wet paper towel for about 2 or 3 days. They recommend 24 hours on the pack, but I gave them a little bit longer. We got these amazing Clark's Heavenly Blue. So these are going to be gorgeous. They actually need full sun, but I am going to plant one underneath this oak tree as a little experiment. I don't want any branches blocking out the sun, so I'm just going to cut this off. We're going to weed around because we've got some clover popping up, but I'm hoping it'll vine up the trunk of the tree so that we don't have to trellis it. This will be a really interesting experiment if it works. So after a few days, we got quite a few to germinate. I'm going to pick the best one, which is this one right over here. I'm going to be very gentle, not touch that root. And we're going to nestle it right into the soil and just cover it. So I'll put the root facing down if I can. And then we're just going to sprinkle a little bit of soil right on top. It's been raining all day. So if I do water this in, I'm going to do it sparingly. But now we're just going to keep an eye on this, keep it moist. I'm going to mulch a little bit around it, but I'm not going to cover it up completely. So hopefully it'll grip onto these oak trees here and climb all the way up. That'll be really nice if it does. The rest I'm just going to plant out in the greenhouse for now. And then we can figure out where we want them later. The rest of our morning glory seeds have sprouted. And if you look close, you can see a little pink, kind of a purplish color coming out of the root. That's really cool. So these are about ready to plant out. But I think this is a really nice spot. Right along this row, further up the hill, we have sunflowers planted. Got a couple more to plant out. I keep finding toads. Look at the size of this guy. Hey, big guy. That's a nice healthy toad. These seeds are really easy to plant. You just want to submerge them about 1 inch under the soil, just so that they don't come up when you water. We'll just press them in. You can take them out of their shell or leave them in. Doesn't really matter. And then we'll keep these really well watered, and hopefully they'll grow up tall like these. I'm growing these in containers just to protect them from wildlife. So I've got them here in one of my vegetable pots, because these are really vulnerable to pests. The seeds are edible, so they get eaten up all the time. The little seedlings are edible, so sometimes they'll get eaten down. And these are going to be kind of sheltered here in the garden, but everything I've grown out in the front has been eaten by deer, so you really want to protect them. Rabbits will eat them. Even when they're this tall, they'll just eat them all the way back. So hopefully kind of behind some containers here in this hedge, we'll give them just enough protection. But the morning glories are coming up all over the place. Got a little toad back here. Looks like he's blue. I think he's been here all day. He might be dead. And then we've got sunflowers here coming up, so hopefully those will survive. And a bunch more morning glories down there. So I hope you give this a grow in your garden. Stay tuned to see if these flower for us. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.